Welcome to Trivia Viral. Our channel covers all the latest analysis and recaps on TV shows and movies, as well as interesting stories and facts that you may not have known. So sit back, relax, and subscribe to our channel if you have been enjoying our videos so far. In 2169 people are genetically engineered to stop aging on their 25th birthday when a one-year countdown on their forearm begins. When it reaches 0, the person times out and loses their life instantly. Time has thus become the universal currency, transferred directly between people or stored in time capsules. The country is divided into several major areas called time zones. Dayton is the poorest, a manufacturing ghetto where people rarely have over 24 hours on their clocks. Whereas in New Greenwich, people have enough time to be essentially immortal. We meet a 28-year-old Dayton factory worker. He lives with his 50-year-old mother. Everyone has a luminous green digital clock on their arms, counting down. The worker is generous and easily gives 5 minutes to a young beggar girl. He meets his friend at a bar. There they see a man treating everyone to drinks and drawing attention to his arm, which lists him as having over 116 years. He knows that the man did not belong to the ghetto and was likely to draw attention to himself. Sure enough, the Minutemen, a criminal gang, shows up armed and ready to forcibly take the man's time. In a secret location, the old man, who has 116 years on his clock but is tired of living, reveals to the worker that the people of the rich town hoard most of the time, while constantly increasing prices to keep poor people dying. Wills, unwilling to abandon the depressed man, the worker offers to stay with the man until the morning. He wakes alone with 116 years of time and a message telling him not to waste it. Through a window, he sees the man seated on the edge of the bridge just as he falls into the storm water channel. The worker visits his friend, who warns him against having so much time in the poor time zone, and gives him 10 years, one for each year of their friendship, before going to meet his mother to leave for the richer time zone together. However, the city bus fare has risen, and the mother is short on bus fare to return home. The uncaring driver forces her to run back, but she arrives a few seconds too late for the worker to save her and times out in his arms. Heartbroken and angry, he vows revenge for his mother's passing by taking the people of the rich time zone for everything they have. Meanwhile, the timekeepers, a group of authority like the police, find the body of the rich man. The leader examines the footage found in the street cameras. Seeing the worker, he assumes that the worker robbed the man's time and caused his passing. Meanwhile, the worker goes to the rich time zone. In a casino, he meets a 110-year-old time-loaning businessman and his 27-year-old daughter. The worker nearly loses all his time while playing poker, but eventually gets a perfect gamble and wins over a millennium. The daughter invites him to a party. The worker buys a new sports car to drive himself to it. There he mingles with the guests and gets to know the rich daughter. However, the police chief arrives and arrests the worker, who insists that he is innocent of the rich man's passing. Instead of trying to prove that he is guilty, the police chief confiscates all but 2 hours of his time and says that it does not belong in the poor time zone. So the worker flees, taking the rich daughter back to the poor zone as a hostage. However, their car gets wrecked by a trap set by the Minutemen gang. While the two are unconscious, the gang robs the daughter's time until she has only 30 minutes left. She panics, as she's never had such a little amount of time left before. The worker attempts to get back some of the time that his friend gave him, but his wife tearfully explains that the friend had gone himself so drunk that he passed. Eventually, the two gets a day of time for each of them by selling the daughter's earrings. Then the worker calls the rich businessman to demand a 1,000-year ransom for his daughter. When the businessman refuses, the worker lets the daughter go anyway. They kiss and depart, but then the police chief finds the worker and tries to attack him. The daughter shoots the police chief in the arm. The worker gives the police chief enough time to survive so that his squad can find him. Then the two steal the chief's car. In order to end the unjust system, the worker and the rich daughter rob the time banks of her father. They give the extra time capsules to needy people. They soon realize that they cannot make any big changes, because the prices to purchase time will just inflate faster to compensate for the extra time everybody has. The Minutemen ambush the two, but the worker manages to take out the gang leader in a wrestling match. He then takes out the other thugs. Then the daughter goes home and pretends to turn herself in. This distracts her father and all his numerous guards so that the worker can sneak up on him. Under gunpoint, they take the father to his office, and they open a large vault. In it, they find a single cassette that has 1 million years on it. After locking the father in the office, they return to the area of poor people. While they're keeping the timekeepers distracted, they give the 1 million cassette to a beggar girl. The police leader chases them back to the poor time zone, but he could not prevent them from distributing the stolen time. After neglecting to download his salary, the police chief times out. The worker and the daughter almost run out of time themselves, But they survive by taking the police leader's salary. TV reports show factories in poor countries shutting down because everyone has enough time to no longer need to do grueling work. After the police see what the consequences of their leader's obsession with the pair are, his colleague orders the timekeepers to return home. Then the worker and daughter move on to bigger banks, still trying to crash the system. What are your thoughts about this story? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe if you would like to see more similar videos, and give us a thumbs up to get more recommendations of our videos. Be the first to watch the latest videos by clicking the bell icon. See you on the next video.